Welcome to The Remnants. Let's dive deep into biblical teachings and stories. Joseph, blessed with a brilliant mind and an uncommon beauty, was the second youngest of 12 brothers, a true gem born unto Jacob and his beloved wife Rachel. These 12 sons, descendants of Abraham, was gifted with the potential to be the forefathers of 12 mighty tribes, each bearing distinctive traits and destinies. However, it was Joseph who found himself painfully set apart from his brethren. From his tender years, Joseph was marked not only by his unparalleled wisdom, but by his extraordinary dreams. Visions unfolded in his mind as if whispered by the divine breath itself. In a glimpse of celestial artistry, he foresaw a future where his brothers would bow to him with trembling reverence. This vision, whilst undoubtedly a stroke of destiny, sowed seeds of envy and resentment within the hearts of his kin. In a fateful twist of fate, Joseph's envious brothers, driven by an insatiable jealousy, decided to seize their chance to rid themselves of this dreamer whose destiny seemed to outshine their own. Lured by deceit and driven by a malevolent darkness, they plotted against him with callous hearts. Joseph, oblivious to their treachery, embarked on a journey that led him to the clutches of slavery. Sold as a mere chattel to the ancient land of Egypt, Joseph found himself imprisoned within the walls of Potiphar's house, as a servant in the household of an influential Egyptian noble. Yet even in the depths of servitude, he remained a beacon of integrity and virtue. His unwavering loyalty and righteous conduct soon caught the eye of his master, Potiphar, who bestowed upon him great power and authority in his household. Alas, such fleeting respite was not long-lasting, for fate had yet more trials to hurl in Joseph's path. A dark temptation in the form of Potiphar's wife, seduced by Joseph's irresistible charm, sought to lead him astray. Though torn by the allure of indulgence, Joseph stood firm in his devotion to righteousness, refusing to betray the trust placed in him. Yet, his steadfastness invoked the wrath of the scorned woman who accused him falsely, sealing his fate within the sinister dungeon walls. In the smothering abyss of the prison, Joseph's brilliance thrived amidst the hopelessness. A beacon of light, he interpreted dreams, speaking of futures untold, of Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker who shared his captivity. The former, whose fortune was foretold as restoration, would eventually ascend to great heights, while the latter met an untimely demise. Joseph pleaded with the cupbearer, begging him to speak his name to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, in hopes of securing his freedom. Years languished in that dark abyss, as Joseph's fate ebbed and flowed with every passing day, until that pivotal moment when Pharaoh himself dreamed of perplexing visions, as enigmatic as a riddle whispered by the gods. News of this mysterious power reached Pharaoh's ears, and Joseph was summoned to weave the threads of interpretation. With clarity and divine insight, he unveiled the impending famine that would engulf the land of Egypt for 7 long years. Impressed by his wisdom and skill, Pharaoh elevated Joseph to unparalleled heights. Entrusting him with the responsibility to govern the land, wise Joseph ensured the land prospered and that the people were sheltered from starvation during the years of plenty and want. The expanse of his power grew, encompassing the very essence of Egypt. As the years of abundance waned, hunger spread like a merciless plague, reaching the far corners of neighboring lands, including the homestead of Joseph's father Jacob and his brothers. Unbeknownst to them, salvation awaited in a land where their destinies would intersect once more. Driven by desperation, Jacob entrusted his sons with a weighty task, the journey to Egypt, where rumors whispered of an abundant grain supply. And so, Joseph's 10 brothers embarked on a perilous pilgrimage, traversing treacherous terrains and crossing distant borders, their hearts harboring no notion of encountering the brother they had long believed to be swallowed whole by the abyss. As the sun cast its golden glow upon the bustling city of Egypt, Joseph, now adorned in regal garments, sat upon his ornate throne, wielding the power of Pharaoh himself. With each passing day, his wisdom and discernment grew, shining as a beacon of hope in the midst of darkness. None would have recognized the radiant youth who once stood before them, thrown into the depths of anguish by their callous hands. In the bustling marketplace, Joseph's keen gaze fell upon his brothers, their presence awakening forgotten memories and reopening wounds that had never truly healed. Despite his elevated stature, Joseph's heart remained burdened with a mixture of emotions, lingering pain, unyielding love, and a profound desire for redemption. He knew the trials that lay in their path would not only test their character, but also guide his own path toward forgiveness. A cloak of secrecy and disguise enveloped Joseph as he embarked on an intricate plan that would unfold with precision. As his brothers approached the grand palace, their weary faces lined with the worry of a distant father and a beloved brother lost to them, Joseph became the master puppeteer, orchestrating an elaborate dance that would bring their shared past crashing into their present lives. With deliberate intent, Joseph concealed his true identity, speaking through an interpreter, as if a stranger in a foreign land. His voice carried a hint of authority, his eyes studying their every move as they pleaded for sustenance. Memories of their fateful betrayal weighed heavy upon his being, but Joseph's heart had been tempered by adversity, forged in the fires of injustice, and thus he resolved to test the mettle of their souls before unveiling himself as the very brother they had cruelly cast aside. Demanding their father's youngest son, Benjamin, as a surety, Joseph sowed seeds of doubt and fear within their hearts. Would they redeem their former sins, or be consumed by their own destructive nature? As long-hidden truths emerged from the depths of their collective conscience, the brothers found themselves caught in the web of their own past transgressions. Joseph, masked in a veneer of stoic authority, observed their moral struggle, eagerly awaiting the moment when he could reveal his true self and witness the transformation in their souls. When their longing gazes rested upon Benjamin, their beloved brother, Joseph's heart softened, recognizing the stirrings of remorse and familial love. Finally, the moment of revelation arrived, and Joseph, unable to contain his emotions, dismissed his entourage. Alone in a chamber, overwhelming emotion carved deep lines upon his face as he spoke the words that shattered the barriers of time and shattered the walls of deceit. "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt." Their mouths agape, eyes filled with disbelief. Joseph's brothers were consumed by a whirlwind of emotions. Fear, guilt, and relief mingled together as they beheld the countenance of their once lost sibling, now a mighty ruler standing before them. Tears flowed freely, washing away the bitterness of past misdeeds and ushering forth a healing bonding, mending the wounds of a fractured family. In that hallowed space, Joseph embraced each brother, their fragile hearts united in this moment of transcendent reconciliation. And as word of this extraordinary reunion spread throughout the kingdom, even Pharaoh himself marveled at the tale of Joseph's anguish and triumph, a story that would resonate with humanity for countless generations yet to come.